What's going on, everybody? Listen, have you ever wanted to do your own live event, your own live workshop or seminar in your city, in your town? You're trying to figure out what are the things I need to be thinking about on the way to preparing, kind of like doing a site visit. So I'm gonna have you come along with me, and we're literally in the car right now heading to an incredible hotel, and we're gonna check out this hotel. But as I was riding to this particular venue, I said, let me just drop a quick video to help you guys. So I'm gonna give you 5 quick things you need to be considering when you're wanting to do your own live event and you're looking at a hotel to determine whether or not you wanna do it. First thing I want you to consider is location, location, location. You wanna find a hotel in an area that's got a great location for you, as well as a great location for your participants. You wanna make sure that you do it in an area where you have a great chance for people to actually come in. So you really wanna be mindful of traffic. You wanna be mindful of, are people coming into this? Do you want people local to attend? You want people from out of town to attend? So the location of the venue that you pick is very, very important. You want to make it a place that people can easily get to, especially if you're making it some kind of a public seminar or a public event where people are showing up. You want to make it something that people can easily get to. So location, location, location. Location really, really matters, right? Number 2, once you get to the venue, you want to keep in mind like meeting space. You want to kind of really get a good feel for the space you're actually going to be in, right? Is it a conference room? Is it a ballroom? Is it like a breakout session room? Is it a meeting room? You want to kind of get really clear on the different types of meeting space that this venue provides and finding out which space is going to work best for your event. Does that make sense? So get a feel for all the different types of rooms, the capacity of how many people can fit in the room. And here's another thing you got to consider. Based upon the capacity, what kind of seating do you want? Do you want classroom style seating? Do you want theater style seating where they have to write on their laps? Does that make sense? If your content is content that's going to require a lot of note taking, I would suggest that you do classroom style. That way people can have a nice table in front of them to take copious notes. Classroom style is not going to seat as many people as theater style because there's no tables, right? But it's more comfortable for your attendees if people are going to be taking a lot of notes of your content. The third thing you want to keep in mind is accommodations for the guests, right? So what kind of accommodations does the hotel provide? Wi-Fi, is it free Wi-Fi? Do they provide breakfast? Is there a restaurant on property? Is there bars on property? Is there a gym, like a workout facility for people, right? Do the rooms have microwaves in them, right? Is it in walking distance to other amenities, or do people have to get a rental car? These are all things you want to kind of keep in mind. You really want to, if you want to do events well, you kind of got to get in the mind of not thinking so much about yourself, but thinking about the people that are coming, because what makes the event awesome is the people that attend, right? So don't be selfish here. Really be considerate about them and having them have a great experience. And if they're out of town people, you definitely want to make sure that they have stuff within walking distance or something they can get to from a rental car. So the accommodations for the guests is really important. Number 4, parking. Here's what I firmly believe. I like doing events where my attendees don't have to bear the weight of the extra expense of parking if they don't have to. Does that make sense? So especially if they're paying for their flight, paying for their hotel, then I want them to be able to enjoy free parking once they get there, instead of having to rent a car, then have to pay $35 a day just to park the car. Does that make sense? So try to find venues that offer free parking. Your guests will greatly appreciate you for that. That's a really, really important one. And then number 5 is food and beverage, right? We kind of talked about that earlier, but you want to make food and beverage considerations, understanding that people have literally a litany of different nutritional, dietary restrictions and preferences. And in my opinion, what you want to aim for is a food and beverage minimum that's something that's easy for you to accommodate and handle, that gives people a variety of options, so the people that are into vegetarian or pescatarian are good there, but the people who also like meat, protein, etc., they're good there. And make sure that you make choices with your audience in mind. Now, the smartest thing that you can do is survey your audience in advance to know what their dietary preferences are, and then do your food and beverage based upon those dietary preferences, instead of guessing for them. Then they get there, you buy all this food, and they don't even enjoy it. Does that make sense? So poll your people and find out what their dietary preferences are, and then make your food and beverage selections based upon that. And the final tip, this is the bonus tip, is staff and service, right? So is there a FedEx on property? These are different services, right? Is there laundry service on property, right? Are there personal trainers on staff, right? When you think about the staff at a property, you really want to make sure that, because you can have a hotel in a great location, but the staff and the service that you experience at the hotel is subpar. And if the staff and the service is subpar, it'll make a great location hotel that's got great amenities feel like a crappy experience. So you want to make sure that if I'm going to do an event, I make sure that I actually spend at least one night as a guest at the same hotel hotel that I'm actually going to invite people to come into town for, because I want to experience what they're going to experience. I'm not just going to, I could easily just say, well, hey, I'm going to my home, so I'm good, right? And I don't have to think twice about it. But I want to make sure that my guests have an incredible experience too. And if you want to do great events based upon your subject matter expertise, and you really want to add massive value to your attendees, make sure that you do a site visit and actually spend one night in the hotel so you can get a real good understanding of the service, get to know people on a first name basis, the people that work the bar, the people that work the restaurant, the people that work in the 24/7 convenience store downstairs, right? All of the different amenities that the property offers. You want to get an idea of the housekeeping. Do they do a good job with the housekeeping? Where could they do they cut corners? These are all things you need to know if you're going to host an event and make it successful. So listen, this is Dr. Delatorro. I'm hoping that you have an incredible event whenever you do host your event. And these are just some things that you need to keep in mind as you are en route to do your hotel preview for your next meeting, your next event. Hope this helped you. Can't wait to see you out there crushing it, kicking butt, taking names. Listen, if you want to know how to do events at an extremely profitable level, and if you want to know how to be masterful on stage to do incredible events, I'd love to personally train you and teach you. So I want you to visit crushthestage.com, and I want you to check out our 3-day speaker training bootcamp. And you're actually going to come and learn not only how to be masterful on stage, but you're going to learn how to do incredible events. You're going to learn how to be a better trainer, a better facilitator. You're going to learn how to be a masterful presenter and creator of events that make people want to come to them over and over and over again. It's absolutely incredible. I'd love to see you there. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video.